Good morning, what's shaking, what's happening? Welcome back to Tasty Bites Timeless Travels. Today is day 110, I think, of our Holland America cruise around the world. And today, we are sailing into Barcelona. And it's also the Grand Meetup. Come join us. So it's like 12:30. Our ship was late getting in. We were due in at 10, but we hit all kinds of weather last night that completely slowed us down. So our ship was not cleared until about 11:15. Since it cleared so late, we said, let's just go ahead and eat lunch on the ship, and then we will go into town. So we're definitely going to go into town today. Today there's a shuttle that will take us from here to the World Trade Center, which is a big area, and we can walk to just about everything from there. Tomorrow there is no shuttle, so you'll have to take a taxi, an Uber, or I think the cruise port does a bus that'll at least get you to the front. It's not advisable to walk, even though you can, but when I put it into Google Maps, it said it would take us an hour to walk where the shuttle's going to take us. So it's very disheartening they don't have a shuttle for us tomorrow, but it is what it is. We don't have major plans for Barcelona. This is a very architectural city, is what I'm reading, and very modern art and Picasso and things like that, which Picasso's not modern, but that kind of style art. Just not something either of us are into. However, we do like shopping, we do like eating. So today, I think we're going to take the shuttle and try to get to the La Rosa, which is like some pedestrian street, but I think now we're going to hit it during siesta, but we'll find out. And maybe go see the outside of the big church here, the La Familia. So I can't pronounce it. It's completely sold out for today. There's a bunch of cruise ships in town today and a bunch of cruise ships in town tomorrow. So we shall see what happens. Tomorrow we're hoping to just tour Volendam. We may or may not go into Barcelona tomorrow. With there being no shuttle tomorrow and having to deal with taxi cabs, y'all know it's not my thing. So let's see what we can get done today. So let's get this day started. So let's talk about our day in Barcelona, because it did not go at all how we planned. First off, the ship got here a little bit later, so we decided to eat lunch on the ship. I already went through that. So we catch the shuttle. The shuttles are running every 30 minutes to this area called the World Trade Center. And from there, it gets you next to this pedestrian shopping street. So the city's beautiful. Like, where they drop us off is gorgeous. It's right next to the Christopher Columbus Monument, and some old churches, and there's like a little flea market thing going on. So we decided to walk the pedestrian street, which everyone thought was so nice, so much shopping. It's all the same stuff, and it's all the same touristy stuff that is like probably made in China, to be honest with you, or it has that stereotype of that, the mass-produced whatever. And there's all these restaurants, but it felt like Ecuador, where everybody had the same menu and it was like the same prices, and they're very, very pricey, which, yeah, Rome had a little bit of that going on too, and we just kept finding little alleys where we found more little local spots. Same deal with Naples. but we couldn't find any little alleys. We finally found like an alley that we felt comfortable going down, and they're doing some construction there, so there is the smell of sewer everywhere. And roads are tore up, and there's tons of people here. It's a beautiful day in Barcelona. Now, the weather is outstanding. It's gorgeous. But I will tell you what is strange. It smelled like the sewer, but then also marijuana is legal here. And I will tell you, up until this trip, I was one of these people that I was ready to vote yes on marijuana, because I was like, oh, no, you regulate it, you tax it, it pays for education or whatnot, this, that, and the other. And now I've gone to these countries where it's legal, and I've really I understand the counter argument about it, that was going on in Florida. But you're going to smell it in parks, you're going to smell it in your schools, like the shops and this, that, and the other. I can see where that can be a problem if you don't regulate it correctly. Not trying to get too political, not going to go any more into that subject, but it's prevalent. You can smell it everywhere. And we thought it was just us. Now, we did eventually, we kind of kept wandering, and we did eventually find this place called Paparazzi, which was like an Italian bistro in the middle of all this touristy Spain. And the people were really, really nice. And C has been like craving like a sandwich. And oddly enough, we couldn't get one in Rome. We had the one in Naples, but we couldn't get one in Rome. And they had sandwiches there, but the guy didn't speak very good English, and we were just splitting something, and it was hysterically funny. They're really trying to be a sports bar, so their sandwiches were like the Michael Jordan and like the Lionel Messi and things like that. Michael Jordan's big here, by the way. I didn't realize that. But so C, who speaks a little Spanish, was trying to say, the mozzarella and the truffle mayonnaise on the side, just one sandwich and these two items on the side. And they came out and they had split the sandwich for us. They were so happy to split it, and we split it for you ladies, and this one with truffles, this one with cheese. And I was like, all right, well, I'll take the one with cheese. And I kind of looked at C and I was like, you gonna be okay? And she's like, yeah, it's a language barrier, he did his best. Like, he was super proud of himself. And we said, we're just gonna hang with it. So now the food was fantastic. If you were ever in this area of Barcelona, highly, highly suggest it. And I will tell you, the only other place that we considered eating, but they were too busy, we couldn't get an open table, was a pizza parlor. I don't know what it is about this area of Barcelona, but their pizza looks fantastic. Oh my goodness, almost as good as it did in Naples. Like, great wood-fired pizza looking at places in this area. But I don't know, and we thought it was just us, because everyone we had talked to has been to Barcelona so many times, got to go see the church, which we can see from the ship, actually, because the church is so big. But the church is sold out if you want to go inside. The National Cathedral is kind of close to where the drop-off point was, but then again, it has some memorials for the Pope. So, we thought, man, what are we missing with Barcelona? But then again, like I said, we're not into architecture, we're not into that style of art, and so we came back to the ship, and we were the last two people to get on that shuttle bus because it was full. And we were talking to other people in the line, and we were talking to some other people in the elevator, and they said the same exact thing. Now, I'll also tell you, this is day 4 of 6 of port stops. No, day 4, yeah, so there's 2 more port stops, and we just haven't had any rest. And I think for those of us, especially the people that have been on the full world cruise, we're just tired. She is taking a beating, because she looked at me and she said, if you want to go out tomorrow, go for it, but I don't think I can physically do it, which tomorrow there's no free shuttle. And I said, you know what, maybe tomorrow we'll just go toward the Volendam and call it a day. Now, then again, I might wake up inspired and want to do something tomorrow, but so far I haven't heard anything that makes me want to go out in the city by myself and pay to get out there to visit. Now, we also stopped by McDonald's because I really had to use the restroom, and there was a McDonald's and a KFC, but they're gated, they're coded restrooms, and so we just bought a drink. And the lady because she was like, oh, you have to buy something, and I said, oh, we'll just buy a drink, which was like a couple of euros. And she goes, oh, that's fine, then you can go. We were like, okay. So you used the restroom and the paparazzi place. But I don't know if we're just tired, because like I said, other people had the same opinion on Barcelona as we did, but then we've talked to people that just love Barcelona. But I had read that street had gotten really touristy over time, and it really, really showed. So I might go out tomorrow for a little bit authentic Barcelona, or I might just do the Volendam, because at the end of the day, I'm tired too. This has been one of the reasons we decided to cruise around the world and not fly around the world. was to not tour at breakneck paces, to be able to rest, to take our time, to not worry as much. But this 6 port days, this is a lot. Holy cow. When we had the 4 port days back in Asia, I thought that was bad. We still got 2 more to go. So, whew, this is not for the weary, I'll tell you that, which might be why a lot of people who do this cruise every year, there's stops they don't get off on. And I think I truly understand that now, that why get off, because it's just tiring. It's a lot to catch a shuttle, to go into town, to deal with all the, oh, you come here, I sell you this, don't you want this sort of deal. I get it. I completely get it now. So, but tonight, it's a fancy dinner, even though it's casual night. They've done this one other time during the cruise, but it is a special dinner because tonight is the Grand Meetup. So it's steak and lobster wearing regular clothes. So we'll see how fun this is. So see you at dinner. All right, appetizers have arrived, and C is starting with the ham salad. This is Iberico ham on top of it, so it looks really good. And then for me, I started with the spinach lemon ricotta spinach dip, whatever it's called. I'm just impressed I got 2 breadsticks today, because normally they only give us 1. So 2 breadsticks. All right, I got a bonus appetizer tonight. I decided to get the white asparagus soup, because you know I like my Holland soups, and this smells like asparagus, so let's see how it tastes. All right, entrees have arrived. So you got the Mediterranean chicken. It's supposed to have couscous, but that is obviously made with Terry, because she did not get couscous, but she got some nice looking Brussels sprouts. I'm kind of jealous of the Brussels sprouts. Now for me, I went with the steak and lobster. It's been a hot minute since I've had steak and lobster, and this had some really good sides, and this was a really kind of fancy menu, so this was what kind of spoke to me, so steak and lobster. All right, dessert has arrived. C went with the mango sorbet. The menu just said sorbet, so she wasn't sure what flavor it was, but it's mango, which is okay to her. She would have much preferred lemon, I'll be honest with you. The lemon is very good. But then for me, I got a couple of the special desserts tonight. First up is the petit fours. Now, for whatever reason, I thought this was cake, but it looks like it's chocolates. But look at how beautiful the decorations are. And then I also got the special Jacques Chiraud. How do you say his name? Jacques Torre. Chocolate globe. I feel like I had this on the Holland holiday sailing we went in 2023. I don't know, but it looks good. C will probably have a lot of my berries because she likes berries and I don't. But looking good. Looking good for dessert. And with that, future Meredith is here to say goodnight. This is Meredith from the next day. We are still ported in Barcelona. It's kind of a gloomy day today. But that party last night was fantastic. That is the best party they've had on this ship. It mirrored kind of the Sydney sail away and the best orange party they've had, which was the first one. Everybody was out having a good time. There were several conga lines going on, lots of dancing, lots of fun. Backing up just a second, dinner was great. It was a very fancy menu on a casual night, and it wasn't that crowded. I think a lot of people did go out and eat in Barcelona, but my food was fantastic. My steak was cooked perfect. I've had to start ordering my steaks medium well so I can get a medium, but I shouldn't have to do it, but that's what I've been doing, and they're coming out perfect. So, because I was ordering medium, I was getting them like raw. So, but C's food was good. We really enjoyed dinner. And then, like I said, the party was excellent. It was weird because they put the Rolling Stone down a little bit earlier in the day, so they had a set at 6:15. They were killing it. They had gotten some new songs for that set. And then that party, the alcohol was free. So they had free sangria, free champagne. There was another mixed cocktail. And then wine, a few types of wine were free. So Holland spared no expense for that party. And then the two ships, we spent all night saying who could be the loudest. You scream, they scream, that sort of thing. The president of Holland went to Volendam for a little bit, but basically did the festivities on our ship. Just a great time. The drone show was fantastic. Oh my gosh, that was amazing. There was some worries that they weren't going to be able to do it with the weather, but Kimberly and I think the guy's name is Daniel, the cruise and travel director for the Volendam, had recorded stuff for it talking about the journey and how many miles and how special it was. This is the first time they've ever had the Grand Voyages meet, and let me tell you, it was amazing. It was probably the greatest cruise party I've attended, especially for Holland. It was just an amazing time. Plus, they had food pass-arounds. It was so much fun, and I think everybody was there. All the excursions were back. There was a 4 o'clock excursion that was due back at 8 o'clock last night, and they were back in time. So, great day. So, with that, we do have another day in Barcelona that you will see on next episode, but I don't know if we're going to go into Barcelona or if we're just going to visit the Volendam. We're still kind of in debate. Even as I record that this morning, we are in debate. So definitely hit that notification button, like, subscribe, all that fun social stuff to keep following us along as we make our way around the world. And we're almost done. Less than 2 weeks of the Holland America 2025 Grand World Voyage. Have a great night. Bye.